Deep dive into water changes. Why do people perform water changes in their aquariums? Welcome everyone, it's Ray from RW Aquarium Pages, capturing my journey in planted aquariums, shrimp tanks, and everything in between. In today's video, we'll be discussing the highly controversial topic, water changes. It'll be in the context of planted shrimp aquariums. In general, most people perform water changes to refresh the water in the aquarium, remove or reduce toxicity, replenish minerals, remove organics, and to add freshly oxygenated water to trigger spawning in some shrimp or fish. In my aquarium journey, I've noticed that a lot of reef keepers have elaborate systems of nutrient export and mineral replacements, so they don't need to do, or they do very little water changes. It's quite an interesting concept in that community. I used to have a 120-gallon planted aquarium successfully with just top-off and RODI water for over 5 years. The plants grew well, the fish were healthy and spawning, but the mineral buildup was offset by the 88 Amazonia, which softens the water. I didn't keep shrimp in that tank, so the fish are more tolerable to wider changes in the water. The final TDS in that tank was 400 parts per million. In planted aquariums, many people dose a lot of fertilizers, and the large water change resets the tank for more dosing. There's also a hidden fact. Aquascapers love Zero Rock. It looks amazing, it's easy to aquascape, but it leaches carbonate into the water, and as a result, to balance it, people perform large 50% water changes, which isn't ideal for shrimp. Let's bring all of those experiences to planted shrimp tanks. If the water parameters are within range and stable, shrimp generally don't like large water changes. I've tested 20%, 30%, and came to optimal range of about 5% weekly for my planted shrimp tanks. Speaking with a few friends who also keep and breed shrimp, they noticed that there's some unknown deaths in their healthy shrimp when they do larger water changes, say over 20%. Unfortunately, I sometimes experience this also. To take this to another level, and considering my brief experience with reef tanks, why do water changes at all? I've chatted with a few friends, and I truly believe water changes are necessary to remove hormones released by the shrimp that can inhibit breeding. Although it's not scientific, I tested this theory with a few friends and found this to be true. A theory that I've been testing for the past 6 months and using on all my shrimp tank is an arbitrary TDS creep of over 15 parts per million. For example, if my planted shrimp tanks are optimal TDS is 130 parts per million, when it creeps over to 145 parts per million TDS, I'll perform a 5% water change. The 15 parts per million increase means there's some type of buildup of something in the water. 15 parts per million TDS creep is about 10 days in my tanks. A TDS meter is not an exact measurement, but it's quicker to use than GH or KH test kits, and dipping the TDS pen into the water for 1 second gives you a quick reading to see if your water is really off. What's your reason for doing water changes in your aquariums? How much do you change and how often? Have you considered this TDS creep method? I love sharing my experiences, success, and failures with everyone and capturing my journey in planted shrimp tanks. Stay tuned for more informative videos. Thanks for watching and listening to my rambles.
Thanks for watching!